Hello everyone, good afternoon, this is Rendan. It's the day after Thanksgiving, and I am still digesting, or it feels like I am digesting, what seems to be a metric ton of food in my gut. But I had a lot of time on my hands, so I've been doing a couple of invasions when I got back from hanging out with family. And I thought a couple of clips might be useful as kind of an addendum video, some boring details to the video I put out Friday. I'm going to have a longer invasion video coming out either next week or sometime after that. I'm not really sure. It is ongoing though, it is in process. But again, I thought some of these might be useful. I could put together a couple handy tips I hadn't thought of yet. But before that, look at this crystal release kill. Oh man, that's sexy. Anyway, again, it's just a couple details I thought might be handy. So enjoy the rest of the invasion here, and then we'll get into it. Boluses are some of the most useful resources you can have in invasions. Did you know that if you go to the Hermit Merchant Shack on the Altus Plateau and kill the bell-bearing hunter there after talking to the merchant and waiting till night, that he will give you the Medicine Peddler's bell-bearing. Once you have that, you can take it to the Twin Maiden Husk, and then you will be able to purchase an unlimited amount of the Thawing, which is the freezing boluses, the blood boluses, the poison boluses, and the sleep boluses. These can be very useful for invasions. If you haven't done this already, I would highly recommend you go up there and take care of it. This is a bit of a smaller one, but if you're fighting two people and you have like a piercing weapon or just any type of weapon at all, a good way to trip people up in a 2v1 is by using free aiming. Back in Dark Souls 3, a good way to not get parried or beat someone who is using a parry shield was to unlock from an opponent and hit them, and you could still get parried, but it would be a whole lot harder to do it. There's a similar mechanic here where I have Piercing Fang on this lance and I'm using it to hit the host, but I'm going to free aim and turn around without locking on and hit the phantom and allow me to get 2 hits on him to kill him. And so now it's a 1v1 instead of a 2v1. It's kind of handy to learn how to control weapons of art like that have free movement, like a charge of any kind or anything like that. If you can get down and just practicing, just kind of not locking on to your opponent, being able to hit them without having locked on, it can be handy for situations like that where you can just kind of freely turn around and hit them with an Ash of War, surprise them, set them up to kill them, and do damage like that. So I would practice that a little bit. Just a handy tip. Get up those ladders. In invasions, if you are fighting multiple people and you have a long ladder behind you and you have to climb that ladder to get away from them, if you ever feel like you need to back up, you do not need to fight them with a ladder behind you. They can shoot you, they can throw stuff at you, they can cast sorceries at you. If you are in a position where you cannot retreat in an invasion because there's a ladder behind you or there's some other obstacle, you need to move so that you can have a line to move back. If there is a ladder behind you, like here in this invasion, you need to get up that ladder to higher ground, start hitting them with a cannon, hit them with something, anything ranged, whatever you have, or at least be waiting up there, kind of move into level a bit, hide a little bit, and see if they will follow you, because you do not need to fight them below that. They will kill you on a ladder. I'm not advocating that you just run away in an invasion the entire time, though. You need to be constantly doing damage and chipping away at hosts and phantoms throughout levels. But you don't need to do that in a dumb way, right? You don't need to put yourself in positions and situations where you can get yourself killed, very, very easily. So we're going to wait at the top of this ladder for them to climb up it. My tool of choice today is the Partisan with the Black Flame Tornado on it. So when they climb up here on this ladder, I'll be able to do some good damage to them, chip them down a little bit, maybe kill one of the phantoms, although these phantoms in this invasion seem to have a good bit of health, so I can't kill them outright, but I can do, again, enough damage to drain some of their resources. And there's a couple of ladders and platforms on this level, so we can do that repeatedly and see if we can kind of, again, drain some of those resources that the three of them have. All right, I'm back. As you can see, after several different ladders and different uses of Black Flame Tornado, and then a good use of PvE, all of the phantoms are down. All that is left is the host, who is veteran armored up with 2 double lances. So I have very little issue with using a heavy thrusting sword against this guy, which is, I think, a bit of a stronger weapon in this game. I don't always like using it, but it is my favorite counter to heavy poise, double lance using guys and hosts like this. It is very strong against them. As you can see, he's poisoned, so he's got to think about that. Not poisoned by me, but poisoned by the PvE. Heavy thrusting sword, basically all you have to do is kind of just press R2 a lot and they'll die. But again, I don't like using this all the time, but against, you know, someone geared up like this, it's fine. And it is a useful counter if you want to find a one counter that can work against guys like this. Heavy thrusting swords do work very well. So, you know, that's something you can use. Anyway, basically, again, in this invasion, making sure you get up ladders ahead of people, making sure you have the high ground, making sure you can kind of chip people away or chip them down, use PvE. You can have a lot more success in these invasions, or at least not, you know, die immediately. So you can use that. All right, this has been talked about enough, and it's been around enough, but in case you're not aware, the last tip we're going to talk about today is Moonveil healing and when to do it. Obviously, Moonveil is strong. It is the kind of the poster child of overpowered in this game. It has never gone away. Even when Rivers of Blood has been nerfed to a balanced or more balanced point, Moonveil has stayed the same. If you are fighting someone with Moonveil, you always need to keep them in your sights all the time in an invasion. You cannot lose track of the Moonveil host. That thing comes out so fast and still does so much damage. You need to keep it in mind. And then inevitably in invasions you will need to heal. So when you're fighting someone who is using Moonveil in an invasion, you need to heal. You need to either make sure he's just cast that animation, so it takes him a second to cast it again. You need to make sure he's healing while you're healing. Or you need to make sure that he's on the ground, knocked out, or some sort of effect has delayed him from using that weapon. All right, you saw right there, I didn't time it appropriately. Now I'm going to run behind this rock so he can't hit me immediately with it, and then hit them both with my Ash of War and kill them. So again, handy tip with Moonveil healing, right? Only heal when they heal after they use the weapon art, or heal when they're on the ground. You got to do it. You got to be careful. All right, hope this was useful. Hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Bye. Whatever. All of them.